friends, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be discussing the Hogwarts houses and asking ourselves, what do our Hogwarts houses say about us? So if you are intrigued and would like to hear more, then do carry on watching. Don't forget, if you are new and you haven't done it already, then please hit the subscribe button to become part of my little magical community, and turn those notification bells on as well to be notified every time I upload a video. And you can always go and check me out on my social media. A big shout out as well to my patrons. You guys are amazing. If you are interested in joining us on Patreon, the link is in the description down below. You can go and check it out. Okay, so we are going to be starting with what will probably be arguably the most popular of the four Hogwarts houses, Gryffindor. So what does being a Gryffindor mean about you? Well, of course, Gryffindors are known for their bravery and their chivalry, and it's usually where you find the most pluckiest and daring of students. Of course, the colours of Gryffindor are scarlet, red and gold, and the Gryffindor common room resides in the Gryffindor Tower, with the head of house being Professor Minerva McGonagall. So if the Sorting Hat places you in Gryffindor, you've most likely demonstrated courage, bravery and determination. And some of the Wizarding World's most famous and brightest wizards belong to this house. For example, Albus Dumbledore and Harry Potter. If you find yourself being sorted into Gryffindor house, the most likelihood is that you are going to be a brave person, you're going to like to stand up for the little guys, you have a tendency to challenge authority, potentially have a tendency to act first, think later, and a lot of Gryffindors are known to be a bit of class clowns and have a little bit of a prankster streak. Now heading over to Slytherin. So what does being a Slytherin mean? Now we all have this sort of preemptive notion in our minds that being a Slytherin automatically makes you evil. Now we know this is not necessarily the case. Whilst most dark wizards have been known to be in Slytherin, it doesn't mean that if you are in Slytherin you automatically are evil. There are a lot of really great qualities that go into being a Slytherin. The house colours for Slytherin are silver and green, and of course their emblem is a serpent. If you are placed into Slytherin house, you are most likely very ambitious, resourceful, and possibly destined for greatness. Slytherins are usually the kind of people that are one step ahead of everybody else. They usually have a dark or wicked sense of humour, take pride in your appearance, and think that reputation is a very important thing. I do really hate the fact that people automatically assume that all Slytherins are evil, because there have been some great people that have come from Slytherin. For example, Merlin. Merlin was a Slytherin and he was an amazing wizard. So the next house would probably be my secondary house if Ravenclaw did not exist. We are looking at Hufflepuffs. So what makes Hufflepuffs Hufflepuffs? Now, if you are a Hufflepuff, you are most likely to be very trustworthy and hardworking. Hufflepuffs are actually the house that has produced the least amount of dark wizards known within the wizarding world. Of course, the animal symbol for Hufflepuff is the badger, and the house colours are yellow and black. The Hufflepuff common room can actually be found near the school kitchens, which makes it really cool because you can always sneak down to the kitchens for a little bit of a midnight snack. And who doesn't love a good midnight snack? I know I do. It's a common misconception that Hufflepuffs are actually the least intelligent of the four houses, but it's actually not true. Hufflepuffs are extremely humble and they don't feel the need to shout out about their achievements. If you are lucky enough to be sorted into Hufflepuff, we can assume that you have a good, strong moral fibre, that you are really hardworking and an incredibly loyal friend. Hufflepuffs know that it's the taking part that counts, and they always have a spare snack or two as well. And of course, last but certainly not least, the best house in my humble opinion, as it is my own, it is of course Ravenclaw. Now, if you are looking for the brainiest of students, you would usually find them in Ravenclaw house, with a couple of notable exceptions such as Hermione Granger and Minerva McGonagall, who very narrowly missed out on being Ravenclaws. The Ravenclaw colours are of course blue and bronze, sometimes mistaken for blue and silver because the movies messed us up, and of course our animal is an eagle. Again, sometimes we get a bit muddled up because the movies muddled us up. Sometimes you see our house being the Raven. And the Ravenclaw common room is situated in Ravenclaw Tower behind an enchanted knocker that asks you a riddle every time you want to enter the common room. The Sorting Hat would only put you into Ravenclaw if you demonstrated exceptional wisdom, wit, and a skill for learning. Ravenclaws are often known as quite eccentric, being very creative, and of course for their intelligence. If you're the type of person that analyses everything, is an overachiever, can be described as someone who is away with the fairies, but is not afraid to be an individual, and also has a head stuffed full of interesting facts. So guys, I would love to hear what Hogwarts house you are in. If you are of course in Gryffindor, leave me a red heart. A Hufflepuff, leave me a yellow heart. If you are a Slytherin, a green, and if you are a Ravenclaw, a blue heart. Let me know what Hogwarts house you are, and if these traits say anything about you as an individual. Now, of course, something I have a big belief in with these Hogwarts houses is that they tend to pigeonhole people into a very specific category of traits. Now, I don't necessarily believe that as people we have one category of traits and that is it. A lot of people tend to say that they are part Slytherin with a bit of Hufflepuff mix or something along those lines. Now, I truly believe that as an 11-year-old, you get sorted into your Hogwarts house. Your traits and personality can differ and sort of turn into something else as you get older and enter obviously the adult life. So even if you start the year in Hogwarts as a Gryffindor, by the end of it, you never know, you could end up as a Ravenclaw. So when people say to me all the time that, oh, I'm Slytherin, but I'm also part Gryffindor, I say to that, well, yeah, because you're not going to be pigeonholed into just one specific set of traits and you cannot like maneuver your personality. Everybody grows, everybody learns different things, everybody gets molded by the people they're surrounded by. So it is very, very possible for you to end up belonging to a different house by the time you leave Hogwarts than when you started. But something that kind of irritates me, just a smidgen mind, is when people say, oh, I was a Gryffindor, but now I'm a Ravenclaw. If you took any of the kind of quizzes that you can do online, like specifically the Pottermore quiz, and it gives you one specific house, for me personally, I feel like you should just stick with that house and be proud of it. Still be proud of the other traits that you show for maybe a couple of the other houses, but ultimately your house is the house you were sorted into from the day you start Hogwarts. So in my opinion, chopping and changing houses probably shouldn't happen. You should just take the quiz once and go with the first one that you're given, and that is your Hogwarts house, rather than chopping and changing all the time. Because like I said, our personalities do change, they differ, they kind of manipulate to people around us. So it is wholly possible to kind of transition between the houses, but ultimately you can only ever belong to just the one. So be proud of whichever one it is that you're in, love your house and everyone else's as well, because I have love for every single house, even Slytherin, who I feel get a really, really bad reputation, but I know some amazing, gorgeous and very, very sweet Slytherins. So yeah, don't automatically assume they're evil. Don't automatically assume that all Ravenclaws are intelligent. I've met some ones that are very, very not intelligent. Don't assume all Hufflepuffs are stupid, because they are definitely not. And definitely don't assume that all Gryffindors are really, really brave. Peter Pettigrew. Just as an example. But thank you so much again for watching this video, guys. If you did enjoy it, please give it a magical thumbs up for me so that I know. And don't forget, if you haven't done already, to please hit the subscribe button to become part of my little magical community, and turn the notification bells on as well to be notified every time I upload a video. And I will see you very soon in the next one. Bye, you guys.